Dear learners, welcome back to your educational channel, Learn and Educate, where we would be studying about the cost accounting. In this video, we would study about costing. What is costing? Costing is defined as the process of determination of the cost associated with manufacturing a product, finding the total cost associated with providing a services, or costing is defined as the process of determining the total cost which is associated with executing a particular plan which has been taken into consideration, the implementation cost of a plan which involves producing a product, providing a service, or both, and the total cost associated in providing that service. It analyzes costing analyzes all the expenses which has been incurred, which includes the expenses incurred on material, the expenses incurred on labor, and the overhead expenses, and the other related cost which should be taken into calculation to correctly identify the total expenditure. Costing is essential. Costing is essential for the purpose of determination of the total price, to calculate the pricing, to calculate the price at which goods, the product will be sold, or the service would be provided, for the purpose of budgeting, budget analysis, for the purpose of controlling the cost. In the case of cost controlling, it helps to make a judgment whether to continue with the particular course of action, or there is a change, or there is a need to change in the output. The direct material, direct expenses, all those, and would be taken into account with respect to finding all the material expenses, all labor expenses, and all the direct expenses, all indirect expenses. Costing takes into account every expenses, whether direct or indirect, actual or implicit, explicit cost, or any expenses which is in the nature of financial or other nature, any cost which can be incurred, which has been incurred, which is actually paid, present cost, historic cost, budgeted cost. Therefore, costing is defined as a technique or a process, is a technique and a process of ascertaining the cost. The process of finding the cost is called as costing. Costing is a process of finding the total cost which is incurred by the enterprises for on the material, on labor, on the expenses, any expenses incurred, or with respect to machines, with respect to the electricity, any expenses incurred which are in the nature of direct or indirect, any expenses of administrative, production, selling, distribution expenses which has been incurred for the purpose of manufacturing of goods, providing of the services. Therefore, costing is a process of finding the cost, the techniques, the process of ascertaining the cost, and costing is a process of determining the total cost which is expense incurred with respect to the production of goods or providing of the services.